Welcome back to Radio Nation. I'm your host, Nicholas Pescod. That last song was Don't Know Why by Sarah Lenore. I'm your host, Nicholas Pescod. We're going to be joined live in studio with Jessica Speziale momentarily. But first, chance to win a copy of Candy Chantrell's CD, Behind the Mic. So how do you do that? Well, you can answer this simple question by... What should our question be, Jessica? What do you want to contribute to our question for today?
Oh, what should our question be?
How do we want to give this thing away? It's got to be something fairly fun.
Yes.
Well, how about we do the interview, and then those that are listening will know, and then we'll ask a question about the interview, about a fun fact about Jessica, and then that'll be it. That's how you give it away. So we'll do it later at the end of the night, so you got to keep listening to Radio Nation to find out more about it. So, of course, we're joined live in studio with lovely individual Jessica Speziale.
Hey.
Hey, so how have you been, Jessica?
I've been very well, thanks. How are you?
Well, thank you for coming on the show, and I'm very, very well. So you just released your brand new album back in November, and it's gotten some pretty good reviews already, and I've seen you live. I was at your live CD release party, and it was fantastic. So talk to me about the album.
Thank you. It's a long time coming. Some of the songs were written back in 1998 all the way up to very recently, this past year. So it was a big labor of love. I really enjoyed making it. It was amazing. This year has been such a whirlwind, and so I feel like this album is just sort of the culmination of this entire year, getting band together, starting out playing shows. I celebrated my first year anniversary of that this year, actually. So it's been just over a year, but getting back into playing guitar after a 7-year hiatus and all kinds of things. So it really does feel like a dream come true, making this recording. It's a 6-song EP, and it's called Dear Reverie. And I feel like that title is all about this being a dreamlike state and it being sort of addressed to that.
So Dear Reverie, is, it's like you said, 6-song EP. Mm-hmm. What was the hardest song to really put together, or to record, produce, write on this album that really struggled you and really challenged you as an artist to finish?
I think it was probably Babyface on this one. The song itself, writing the song, came really quickly. The bare bones of it anyway, with the acoustic guitar and the lyrics. I started writing it on the St. Clair West streetcar. And by the time I got home, I had 2 verses, a chorus, a melody, and then I spent the next 2 or 3 hours putting the guitar part together. In the process, angering the neighbor upstairs who was banging on the ceiling. But then my bar chords are an issue. so I was struggling with the bar chords. They're much better now, but at that time, I was still sort of getting my bearings on the guitar. So it took me a while to get it rehearsed enough so that I was happy performing it. And then some time passed, and I'm putting together the full band arrangement. And the first pass, it was hilarious. We all sort of stopped halfway through the song and just started laughing. It was so brutal. It all fell apart. So it took a few different revisits, but I feel like we nailed it on this recording. So I'm pretty pleased with the way it turned out.
Now, the album artwork is done by our co-host, or not our co-host, but our good friend Josh Skinner, who hosts his own show, The Original Soundtrack. What was it like working with Josh as an artist to basically what essentially is another artist and helping create something that you have a vision for, which is what you want on the album cover, and he's trying to create it for you. But was there sort of like an input? Like, did he ever say, I think you should maybe go with this color? Or was it sort of just like, this is what I want, put it together?
Yeah, I went in with an open mind working with the other artists on this, and I should note as well that the photography was done by somebody else. So the photography was done by Jillian Foster, and then Josh helped me put the whole package together. So I first met Josh, we were downtown, we had lunch, and we started conceptualizing different ideas, and the photos hadn't even been done yet. So I didn't really know what I wanted, and so we worked together very easily. It was sometimes a little frustrating just because we didn't really know where to start. But eventually we got it all going. And then by the time we were done that lunch, I had a pretty clear idea what the sort of feel was that I wanted to go for. So he was really instrumental in getting the whole thing going, which was awesome. And so it was really lovely, too, because working with other artists in different areas of art is always a lot of fun because I don't know anything about design. And it's great to sort of see how the emotions that I want to present can be presented in a visual format.
Absolutely. And it turned out really, really well. Like, I'm very, very impressed with it. I really, really like it.
Me too.
Was purple like the color that you wanted to go with? Like, was that because you chose that dress, or like, because I think personally I think it suits this, like, the album really, really well. But
thanks.
Sort of like, was there a difficulty picking colors and that sort of thing?
There was. In the beginning, the whole idea was from this dream I had way back in the day. I was like 7 or 8. And in this dream, I was wearing this sweater I used to have that was brightly colored triangles. Now, this is like the 90s, so it was appropriate. But
fair enough.
It was really hideous now. But all these brightly colored triangles, it was like yellow and orange and pink. And in this one dream I had, it was this dingy sort of like Ghost of Christmas Past kind of thing, and the sweater was glowing. So what I wanted to do with the album cover was take that dreamlike state, and because it was applicable to the title, and but at the time I was like, okay, rustic with bright orange yellow. And then I sort of ran out of funds and couldn't buy a new dress. So I went with my favorite current dress, which was purple. And I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. And by the time the photos came in, I was like, you know what? Purple and silver. Let's do this. It's perfect.
Well, it does work really well. And we're going to talk a little bit about it now. You're also been featured on a magazine cover called Roots of Hair, which is pretty awesome. And talk to me what it was like to, being an artist and everything. And now you get this chance to really be basically the model on the front of a magazine. What was that experience like for you? And what was it like sort of working with the group that you worked with?
It was wild, and it happened all in like the span of a few days. So it was this big whirlwind. I'm still I just saw the cover for the first time just now, and I'm totally thrilled. It looks amazing. The girls did a great job, and it was amazing working with the team because I'd never met anybody before, and we just had a really good time sort of getting to know each other and getting the vision, and it was fun stepping into that model role where I just had to channel this emotion of having sort of hair anxiety over what kind of hair I wanted to have. It was a lot of fun.
Now, I gotta ask, because it's really interesting. Guys, like, part of the magazine, in one half you have straight hair, and one half you have curly hair. Now, did you have your hair? Did you come into this school like that with your hair, one half straight, one half curly? And if so, did you go on transit and did people look at you weird?
Well, I didn't come that way. I actually straightened half my hair when I got here, but I did leave that way, so there were some questions.
What were the reaction of people just in transit, just like, what is this girl doing? Like, why? Like, are you on drugs, lady? Like,
I got a lot of smiles.
Nice.
And then I got home, and it was, I think it was Monday night, because there were a whole bunch of musicians in my house, and it's rehearsal night on Monday nights at my house. So, I walk in, and I took my hair down really dramatically, and everyone just kind of went, what the? It's amazing.
Very, very nice. Well, it turned out very well. And actually, there's more pictures. There's one in the inside cover of the magazine as well, which is a very nice photo of you as well, which kind of illustrates the point that you do have. It wasn't just like it was photoshopped or anything. That's really it.
Yeah.
Which is great. And there's, of course, one of you with the people that contribute in the magazine. What do you think's the next step for you going forward? Now that you're on the front cover of a magazine now, you've got your CD out. What's the next step for Jessica?
Oh gosh. This past couple of weeks have been very surprising. So it's got me sort of wondering where the next step is. The plan is, by the way, if you want to see this magazine cover, I just tweeted it, and I think, did Radio Nation just tweet about the website as well?
No, but we will.
Oh, nice.
We're following
So
them.
Either way. I'm at Spezie, SPEZZIE. I just did a response video to this YouTube video that went viral in India called Colaveridi. So it's from the girl's point of view responding back. And as of today, it had like 20,000 hits. So I've been meeting a lot of people the last couple of days from all over the world. So it's been really exciting. So who knows what's going to happen in 2012. But my big plans are a tour in Ontario and New York State. And I would really like to start working on the full-length album as well.
Now, do you have ideas? Before you went on air, actually, you were guitaring a brand new song. So do you have lots of songs lined up for the next album?
I do, and I think it's going to be a tough choice as to which ones make the cut, and which ones from Dear Reverie end up going on it as well, in their fleshed-out new versions.
That's something I wanted to ask, actually, was like, how tough is it? I mean, for this one, for your current album, there you put 6 songs in there. Now, I'm sure you've obviously written more than 6 songs. It doesn't really... What's the choice like between, could you have gone with more songs? Or talk to me about that process, because I really don't know what that's like.
Cool. Yeah, it's a long, kind of painful process sometimes, but it's so much fun to get into that space where you're trying to piece together something that others are going to enjoy. And that was the biggest thing for me. Like I spent a year playing shows, playing these songs and getting the response from people. So I picked 6 songs that kind of created a story arc like that I would put into show format and play in that order. And that people enjoyed the most out of all the tunes that I've written overall, and that I've gotten the best feedback about. So for me, the biggest thing about putting together an album thus far in my thinking is getting sort of an arc going, getting a story going, getting songs that fit together nicely in the playlist, and the ones that are favorites too, and the ones that are my favorite, because I think that's pretty important.
Well, it's your album. I mean, theoretically, you can do whatever you want with it, right?
It's true.
But like you mentioned, there really sort of has to be some sort of like a logical, almost an order that things go in. Is that really a big challenge? Because it's not just like I'm gonna throw 6 songs in here and whatever works, and like if you like it, you like it, you like it. Like you have to really, really think about it. So I mean, what was the challenge in picking these 6 songs that went on your album?
Amazingly, this 6-song combination and the order is the first one I came up with. But throughout the process and showing it to other people and getting feedback and then after, because I chose the songs, then recorded them, and we didn't record like extra songs or anything to pick the best ones. So, and then depending on how well we played them, it would have affected the order and stuff. So, but the biggest thing was titling the album, which was really difficult, and B, your leading song, because like I chose to lead this EP with Brace Yourself, and some of my most trusted music advisors and friends, and they were all like, really, you want to that's the first thing people are going to see when they look at your album is Brace Yourself. Like, that sounds a little arrogant, doesn't it? And I'm like, well, yes, but that's not really what the song is about. And then in the end I was like, but it's a great lead song, I think I have to do it.
Fair enough.
Veto.
And so you stuck with it anyway, and it is the first song on the album, which is pretty awesome. It is Brace Yourself. So, I mean, I'm going to pick it up and be like, I'm in for a ride here, right? So we're going to take a quick commercial break here on Radio Nation. We're going to kick it off with Kaisi Zhang's song, Crush on You. So we're going to play that momentarily and then come back. And then did you want to perform a song live, seeing as you did bring your guitar here?
I would love to.
Yes, exactly. So we'll get to do that, and it'll be a lot of fun. So I'm your host, Nicholas Pescod. You're listening to Radio Nation.